Hi everyone, this is TechEd with the first video in our new series of individual project interviews with TAMS students. Through this series, we hope to help everyone discover the exciting efforts that have been going on at TAMS and perhaps inspire you to begin your own. So today we'll be interviewing Nate on his unique project, the Chaucerizer.
So can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nate. I've been programming for like 1.5 years, and yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, so what is Chaucerizer?
Chaucerizer is a Chrome extension, and it improves the reading of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales on the Harvard website by making it harder and more challenging. I can actually do a screen share too if you want to see it. Okay, so it's on the Chrome store if you want to try it out yourself. Called Chaucerizer. It's already got 3 users. And basically just add it to Chrome and then it shows up right here. And as you can see, this is Chaucerizer. Its icon, I don't think I can zoom. Its icon is a picture of Chaucer, who lived in the 14th century and was an author. And basically it has a button right here. It's medieval themed. So Chaucer wrote the Canterbury Tales, which is like a really famous, really old book. And you can go to the book by clicking on the button. And this is the book from Harvard University website. And you just go to which chapter. So we can go to the first chapter. And basically, as you can see, it they show you the Middle English and they show you the New English. And basically, as you're reading, you're not going to have much of a challenge because the challenge of reading Chaucer is that it was written in the 14th century, so you should be challenging. But your peripheral vision will just pick up on like the modern English translation. So with Chaucerizer, you just go here and you press this big old Chaucer face button and you press it and you click out and voila. Now you can only see the Old English or the Middle English and it makes things more challenging and a more genuine experience. But you can see that. But there's going to be some lines that you just have absolutely no idea what they're saying. So what you can do is you just hover over them, and it'll show you the English translation. It just sticks it right there. That's the core of Chaucerizer. So basically, you can just turn it on and off, and then it'll like change. And one of the features I really like is that when it's on, the Chrome icon actually um, is actually colored, but whenever it's off, the Chrome icon is gray, so it keeps continuity.
That's cool.
Yep.
What inspired you to make this?
Well, basically, I was reading Chaucer on the Harvard website, and my local library doesn't have a copy of like Chaucer, so it's either go to gin.lib.rust.ec and like illegally download. Wait, actually, no, Chaucer is open source. Anyways, I just wanted to keep reading it in the Harvard thing, but I wanted a challenge, so I was like, why not just try to make a Chrome extension? People at Sesame did it, you know.
Okay, so what have you learned from developing Chaucerizer?
I learned how to make a Chrome extension. That was pretty fun. It's really not totally challenging. It's like if you know how to make a basic website out of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can make a Chrome extension. I think like what making a Chrome extension really taught me was how much I like React and don't want to use like normal web development. Because I think you can make Chrome extensions in React, but I chose just to use like standard JavaScript and HTML. And all of these random places you're adding event listeners and your code just gets really ugly very fast. So overall, like if I had to go look at my code, I wouldn't be that proud of it, even though it's a pretty simple app. So what it taught me is that if I want to make a Chrome extension in the future, it's going to be pretty doable, but just like maybe think a little bit harder, use React or something. Don't just do whatever you want in the code.
What challenges did you face while working on this project?
Yeah, I have a lot. Okay, I have a serious challenge. Let me share the screen again. Okay, so basically, it's hard to know on this website. It's hard to know where you have to be able to understand how to connect the Middle English phrase to the New English phrase. And so on pages like this, it's very predictable. You have like a containing paragraph, right? And then within these, you have a span, a break, and then the next span. And so you just use sequential choosing. You say, okay, the every other span is going to be my New English, and then I'm just going to store that and display it. Well, the biggest challenge is that once you get the people who wrote this website for Harvard got kind of lazy or something, and so at some of the later things, like I don't really know how to predict it, but on some of the later ones, they just completely changed up. They changed up their format. So for some of them, it just stops working, but for most of them, it works. So that's my biggest challenge because it's really annoying. And ultimately, there was no way that I could find to really predict how it goes together. And the problem with that is that it takes like literally like 3 seconds to download the full text of the Canterbury Tales from like Project Gutenberg or something and just make your own web app or something. So I thought it would be more time than it's really worth. Like I could just host Chaucer on my own website and make it like this and not use a Chrome extension. So ultimately, like I just decided not to make it super perfect. But yeah, so I would say the people that run Chaucer at Harvard, like, um, be more consistent. They weren't developing it with my Chrome extension in mind, apparently. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What's your favorite part of Chaucerizer?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna share it one more time, just because this is definitely my favorite part. Was basically the sort of vibe the actual screen gives off when you open it. I think I I basically I found a really good paper like paper sort of old cracked paper image, and I think that it just worked really well with the dimensions I had already. So it looks like just a piece of old paper sticking out of you, which I think is really fun. And the castle on the bottom was like a free SVG I found, and I kind of extended it. And I think that's pretty fun too, although I'm not sure if it comes from an accurate time period. And and then also just the Chaucer on and off button. Like that's probably my favorite part because I was never really good with Adobe Illustrator like clipping techniques. So I worked like a sadly long time on the button. But using like the CSS transitions to turn it off and on and just seeing Chaucer's face it kind of looks like a derpy old like 14th century Englishman. That was pretty fun. I think it's my favorite part.
Yeah, that does look really good. Okay, anything else you would like to share?
I would say like if anybody is like listening, basically if you want to make a Chrome extension, it's not that challenging. Like you can just look up tutorials and they have like pre-made Chrome extensions. And then also getting it approved on the Chrome store was kind of ridiculously easy. And the other thing I would say is that you got to be really careful. Okay, you got to be really careful when downloading Chrome extensions because people put a ton of malware in their Chrome extensions. I had malware in some random Chrome extension I had to like capture a screenshot of my Chrome window. And fortunately, it didn't affect that much. But for making a Chrome extension, I can tell that they hardly vet this stuff. Like you could just you could just be viewing users' data and stuff in their websites. So if anything, make a Chrome extension just to discover what your Chrome extensions might be doing to you illicitly.
It's very good advice. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really enjoyed hearing about Chaucerizer, and it definitely seems like an exciting effort.
Thank you.